Saturday, 3 o'clock. What have I got to watch? Gardening shows. Yeah.
Yo, Rob, you watching this game? Bro, Eze's on fire.
How are you watching that? You can't watch 3 o'clock games in the UK.
Bro, what do you mean? I'm watching the full game now, live.
How though? You're not abroad?
No, bro, with NordVPN, my laptop thinks I am, but with one click, boom, I'm on holiday.
Are you serious? I'm here watching someone plant potatoes, and you're watching Eze tearing it up. No, I ain't having that.
I'm only joking with you. You know we can't do that in the UK. But if I wanted to, it would work perfectly. Bro, whether it's football, soaps, you know me, Love Island when we're away, you know what I mean? All those things, whatever your family's into, NordVPN's got you covered. And with Threat Protection Pro, there's none of that cyber nonsense, no scammers, none of that, just smooth streaming. So hurry up and get involved, bro. Come on, you're missing out.
All right, I'm convinced. I'm signing up right now. Go to NordVPN/AFTV for an exclusive deal.
Yes, welcome back to AFTV. You've joined us for the preview of Arsenal versus Atlético Madrid in the second leg of the Champions League semi-final. Will we get rid of Madrid or Atlético go? Just turn up your TVs or your phones and enjoy the show.
Bro,
I'm used to it at this point.
You know the only good thing? The season's ending soon, so we can get rid of these terrible intros.
Yeah, maybe actually.
poetry.
If we win a trophy, I think I might retire them.
Cool.
I think I might.
Yeah, that's
I think I
fair.
might.
A major.
A major. Yeah. Well, that's all that's left.
that's true.
That's all that's left. That's all that's left. All right, let's get into this. Obviously, I asked. Do you know what? It didn't actually go out when I was in Uganda, but I put it on Twitter. I said, if we win the Champions League from now, do you get a gold Champions League? Because we'll be unbeaten. But there's many teams that have done it before. But I asked it on Twitter, got caned a little bit. But we're not here to talk about if we get a golden Champions League. I'd love to see if we did. Let's talk on before we get into thoughts and feelings. We're 1-1 at the moment, so it's level ground. It's a shootout here at the Emirates, 8 p.m. Tuesday night. Do you want to see either the performance you saw in the first leg, controlled, I actually thought it was well organised. We got robbed obviously of a decision, which we'll get into a bit later. Or do you want to see the Arsenal that played against the most
Fulham.
recent game, Fulham?
I don't care. Just win. Just get through. I don't care if it's controlled, if it's boring, if it's sideways and backwards. If you get through to that Champions League semi-final, I do not care how you do it. Would I prefer to see a Fulham performance? Obviously, any football fan would. Of course I would.
What do you
but
think
I want
we'll
us to
see?
get through.
What do you think we'll see then? Because that
I
kind of
think-
goes along with the lineup then, because the lineup changed against Fulham. We also saw Marzo,
Yeah.
all of that. Or do you want the back to the Zubimendi, more control? What do you think Arteta will go with?
Simeone's not going to make it easy. He's a class manager. He's obviously an experienced manager. He knows what the atmosphere is going to be like here, what Arsenal are going to want from this game. He's going to know how to set up. I think tactically he's going to, I'm not going to say sit back, but he's going to make it very, very hard for us to break them down.
Yeah.
And I think, we're going to have to be on it. You know, we've beaten 4-0 already this season at the Emirates in the Champions League. Miles Lewis-Skelly, interestingly, like I said to you just now, started that game.
Had a good game
and was
again.
brilliant. Second half, got an assist for Martinelli, was driving through the midfield, wasn't really playing at left back, was inverting most of the game. So, look, I know we're going to talk about whether Miles plays or not, but Simeone's not going to make it easy. We're going to have to be on it. The fans are going to have to be on it, which actually, against Fulham, they were. That atmosphere against Fulham was incredible. I turned to my dad before the game. I was there.
Sorry, he was there, yeah.
Turned to my dad before the game and I went, something feels different today. I don't know if it was because Saka was back or because the lineup was refreshed or because we knew it was a chance to go 6 points clear, or all of those things put together. I hope it'll be exactly the same against Atletico on Tuesday. I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
But they're not going to make it easy.
Of course, well, there's plans for Arsenal. They've given out flares to fans before the game. As the coach arrives, they want them to greet the Arsenal players with flares, the songs, the drums, all that. So I think it'll be raucous. And obviously they've got a planned massive tifo again as well. So there's not really an excuse. I think the fans will be up for it. I think I watched back the highlights of the game. Obviously, when we do the match day live, we don't have the sound on, but I could hear the fans massively throughout the whole game.
Did you see the clip of half time? Because obviously we scored right on half time. The referee blew the whistle straight after the kickoff.
And it was just loud.
Fans were going mad.
Yeah. I heard the concourse
It was crazy.
as well.
It's like we won. It felt like we won something.
Mad.
It felt like I know the game was technically, we felt like it was won at that point. But it felt like this is the league. This is us. Like I said to my dad, something different. Something feels different.
Yeah, fans.
And I hope it feels like that on Tuesday as well.
I was singing in the concourse. Goonally, for you as well, same question. Do you want to see or do you think you'll see the 1-1 performance last week, Zubimendi more controlled, or do you think you'll see the Fulham, Marzo Skelly in the midfield? all that sort of performance?
I mean, do you know what? I feel a little bit different to Christian in the sense of I do think it does matter how we play, because I think ultimately we didn't win the game last week. We need to actually win. So yes, the result and the performance was okay for a 1-1 away performance, but I think that we need to actually win the game. So I think we have to play like we did against Fulham. I don't think you have a choice. I think you have to go out there. You don't want to be going to extra time because you then got another game against West Ham. So yes, overarching point, Christian's 100% correct. Yeah, just win. But I think if you play better, you play like you did on Saturday, you just make it a lot easier for yourself to win the game.
The opposition is very different though. Atletico Madrid and Fulham.
That's literally my next question.
That's a different point.
Yeah.
We have to play like we did against Fulham now. Yes, we're playing against a different team, but if you're asking me what type of performance do we need to have, we have to have a performance like Fulham. Now, anything can happen, 100% Christian, but I do think if you play like we did against Fulham, you give yourself a better chance of actually winning and going through, because we didn't do anything in terms of actually, because there's no away goals in the Champions League. So true. That doesn't count for much. It's just a 1-1 draw, right? We now need to win. How are we going to win to go through? It's playing like Fulham, in my opinion.
Okay, interesting. I don't know if you wanted to rebut. You want to rebut?
No, I don't want to rebut. Well, I get the point. I thought we played well against Atletico. I think first half. I think first half we played well.
We played well.
No, we definitely.
But I'm just thinking, just to go through. Yeah. There's a difference. The performance was good because it was a away performance, and I thought in the first 20 minutes, first half an hour, I thought we controlled. I thought even in the second half, I thought like Atletico Madrid had a good spell at the start. But I thought we did good for the whole game. All my point is to go through. You've got to play. You've got to play like Fulham. We've got to play like Fulham. It's not a guarantee to go through, but I just think we've got to play like Fulham. That was all my point.
Obviously, fans can decide whether that. It's not naive, but obviously they got stronger threats. But you're right. I think that level of mentality of let's go. Yeah. We as fans, I think we all want to see that, but we just know our club so well that we know Arteta likes control. Yeah. But what we saw against Fulham, maybe just a little sprinkle of that aggression, that want to win.
Do you know what as well, right? Again, I was at the Newcastle game. Obviously, Christian was at the game against Fulham. I think probably one of the reasons why everyone was so happy is because we've finally gone out and attack. Yeah. We've finally
the contrast of those two games.
So we're now playing with 11 men instead of 10 men, because we know Madueke is a default. We're playing with Madueke, you're playing with 10 men. So for me, I just feel like probably just the performance just made Arsenal fans in the stadium feel a bit more galvanised that we can actually go score goals and win. Probably I wasn't there, but that's just what I'm assuming. I was at the Newcastle game and that was dying.
I was
at the Newcastle game as well, and I think even before the game, something felt different. And again, I agree. I think the team sheet, Miles in midfield, even Calafiori coming back in, even though Hincapié has been brilliant. Yeah. Saka back. It was exciting. Trossard starting. Yeah. It just felt different. It felt like, and I think what was on the line, a chance to go 6 points clear, really put the pressure on and hand it over to City and go, well, go on then. Yeah. Go and win your 2 games. Yeah. If you're going to catch us, win your 2 games and score goals as well. So once we got the 3 goals, which maybe should have been more in the second half, but if you said to me before the game 3-0, I would have definitely taken it. Yeah. But yeah, look, the atmosphere I'm sure will be amazing here on Tuesday night. But it will be a completely different game. I don't know what to expect. Like I said, do I want it to be open and expansive and exciting? Of course. But Simeone is not going to make it like that. And the team selection is going to play a big part. I think Zubimendi probably will play, even though I will play Miles. I think it's going to be a lot more controlled.
You said, you would open and expansive. But you did say at the start of your talk, when I did say to you, what do you want? You said, I just want to win. So at the end of the day, I'd rather not have that PSG by an open, expansive football. Yeah. I want to just win the game.
And again, I think there's a difference between actually having expansive football and just attacking. Against Newcastle, we didn't attack. We didn't do anything. It was so bland. Yeah. So I'm not even saying go gun ho. As Christians, this is a totally different team, a much better team. A team that we know they don't care about coming to us. They went to Anfield a few seasons ago and actually knocked them out. And I think at the time weren't they Premier League champions, or they were about to be champions elect. So they can go out and go to any team in Europe and win. They've beaten Barcelona away. What was it, 2-0 or 3-0? So they can do it. For me, I'm just saying attacking football, winning football. And winning football can come in many different ways and facets. I'm just saying we can't have a performance like Newcastle and think just win. I don't see the two things marrying up.
If we do, and we just win, and it is like Newcastle, and we win 1-0. That's where I'm saying I couldn't care less. I agree with you. Obviously, we want to.
It's more conducive to play like Fulham them play that because Fulham didn't. What their first shot was in 72nd minute.
On target, yeah.
So that's not gun-ho football. It's more attacking football. We still had our defence was locked down.
To conclude, then, it's like we don't want to see Arsenal. You know, people say, "Oh, we played bad, but we still won." I don't want to see. I don't think we can get away with that on Tuesday. We just want to be able to play well and win the game. Instead, it doesn't want to be that. A Newcastle game, we played bad, but we won. Fulham, we played really well and we won. Most fans are going to want to see that performance, but I feel like Arteta will be more controlled in team selection and how we probably actually set out. Are you over the penalty change over decision from the other night in the reverse fixture? Are you over that now?
Honestly, I didn't really make much of it.
My head's still gone.
I didn't. I was more annoyed with VAR change.
Change it.
Yeah. So but I didn't really think much of it. Honestly.
So you didn't feel robbed after and think it should be 2? It should be 2. Well, you can't guarantee you score the penalty, but it should be 2-1. You didn't care about it.
Not really. No. I feel like I don't think it was a dive, but I feel like it was a very, very easy pen at the time. I'm not saying it was a dive.
No, there was contact.
There was contact, but I feel like it was an easy pen. It was
soft penalty. Is what you're trying to say.
Penalty, yeah,
for you then, Christian?
It was absolute scandalous. We were definitely robbed. I'm over it. Don't get me wrong. I'm over it. I get over things pretty quickly. We beat Fulham. I was like, cool, we move on. Let's beat Atlético now at home. 1-1 was still a good result.
We don't win,
but it was ridiculous. Come on, once you give that penalty, you can't overrule it.
Exactly. You're there. You're sitting there. You see it, and you got a man freaking far away saying
it's a joke.
To clear over his error.
Right?
What?
Again, I know this is very harsh for me to say, but if Arsenal can't score a goal in 180 minutes, another goal in 100.
Yeah, no, that's where I'm at. That's right. That's what I'm saying. 1-1 is still a good result to take to the Emirates.
Aggrieved. I'm not going to feel aggrieved in a point. I'm like, go out there and just win the game, win the competition. You've got 2 opportunities, right? So we've done half the job. Yeah. We've taken it from their ground and given it advantage to us because we're at home. That's the only advantage. We're at home. Just go out and. As Christian said, just go out and win. So however you want to win it, we can go back and forth about how you win it. Just go out and win. There's more than one way to skin a cat.
True.
So you don't have to rely just on penalties and set pieces. You've seen what we did against Fulham on Saturday. We absolutely turned them over.
Yeah.
So we know we've got the capability. We know it. So now just go out and score more than one goal.
And we've turned over Atlético here this season as well. Beat them 4-0.
Mate, Gyökeres.
It will be different now, though.
It will, but it's still the same team, same manager. Julian Alvarez was playing. They had all their big guns. It wasn't like they were missing players in that game. And they needed to win that because where they were in the Champions League group, they needed to qualify. We obviously needed to win 4-0 in that second half. Don't get me wrong. We said this about PSG last season when we beat them in a group. They were different. But Atlético they're not all that. They're not the Atlético, right? You mentioned Barcelona. If Barca didn't go down to 10 men in both legs, I think they would have gone through quite comfortably. So, look, I'm not looking at them as no mugs. Simeone,
they're not mugs.
Griezmann and Alvarez and Llorente, all these guys, quality. But we are a better team. I expect us to win tomorrow night.
Just to add on, I think last year, everybody had still a bit of trepidation because PSG, attacking-wise, it was just because they couldn't get over the hump. Because they've always had great attacking players. They've always had a great squad. But we just didn't believe in them because we just knew that every time they had the 4-0 bottling against Barcelona away under Unai Emery, they've had some really weird moments in Europe, but we never ever doubted their quality. With Atletico Madrid, we actually do believe. I feel like we're above them in terms of the quality overall 100%. Across the squad. I think we've got a better keeper than them, or maybe equal on par, whatever. I think we've got a better defense than them, 100%. Midfield, we've got a better midfield than them, and I think forward line, okay, fine, you can give it to them, or you want to divvy up who you want.
Alvarez, Griezmann.
You take Alvarez, maybe not Griezmann at this stage of his career. Lookman will get walk into our team.
Our 11 should be better than theirs, right? And we're playing at home, so I feel like there should be any real reason for us other than European heritage. They've been to a few more finals than us. That's it.
Listen, I'll be honest, that decision's still until we go through. I won't be unrattled until I know. That unrattled. Until that decision doesn't hold any weight or have any effect, I'm still pissed off by it. Excuse my language. Let's go into where. Listen, we haven't got an Atletico Madrid fan. I wish we did to give you more insight around the club. But obviously, if we get to the final, fingers crossed, I'll make sure that is there for you. But I know they're sitting 4th in La Liga. They've not really got much to play for. They rested their whole 11 against Valencia. They won 2-0 against Valencia, but they rested all their players. So they're coming with a fresh.
But that could also mean that it doesn't mean that they're in rhythm, they're in sync. We've played We've got our players because when you play...
What would you prefer though? Rested players or players that are... I actually don't know the answer. It's your own prerogative. Or do you want players that have been playing and
honestly,
know it?
I feel like what Arteta did...
I'm not rested, basically.
I think what Arteta did on Saturday was very smart. You play your players and then you start taking them off. I think, was it Declan Rice was the only one that stayed on that?
No, Rice came off.
Oh yeah, Rice came off
well,
for... Who did he come off for?
No,
Zubimendi came on and... oh my gosh, who came on?
I don't know. Anyway, but look, Hincapié was rested.
Yep.
Gabriel and Saliba weren't really running to the ground, were they?
No.
A pretty comfortable game. Ben White came off for Mosquera.
Yeah, that
I think
makes sense.
I would start Mosquera in this game because White playing 3 games in 7 days. I thought he actually played quite well against Fulham. But to play 3 games in 7 days, I don't know if he can handle that. Zubimendi rested. Rice played 60? Eze came off. Saka came off at half time. Gyökeres came off for Jesus, even though he's on a hat trick, which I think was also smart because you'd be like, oh, you want to keep him on to get his hat trick, but if he gets injured, Jesus is starting up front against Atletico, which isn't ideal. Yeah. And then Trossard came off. Did Trossard come off? Did Trossard play 90?
No, Darman.
Martinelli didn't come on. Yeah, Darman came on. Yeah, which is interesting. Martinelli didn't come on. Maybe Martinelli starts this game.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a full game rest.
European Martinelli.
That's exactly that. And that's
so we have actually should be quite a fresh 11
team
as well.
But do you think Arteta's done enough, boys, in the back end, as in like pulling a trump card? Sorry to use Trump as not an example, you know what I mean, the phrase. Do you think he's done enough in the back end to like change something? I've always said Arteta has to have something up his sleeve that's going to catch teams out towards the back end, so we're not so easy to play against. Miles in the midfield, I think, to be fair, a lot of us have been screaming for ages, but he's actually done it, and it seems like that might be something different. Do you think there's still more to come? Do you think he's done enough to get over the line in both competitions, or is there still need more?
I would say I think it was more of a needs must.
Oh,
I think like we've been screaming for this for ages. So I feel like he had to do it because he had to have a little bit of rotation in there. We've seen
Zubimendi,
he's been leggy. So Zubimendi's not been at the quality and he's been tired. It's not because he can't
play way too many minutes.
He's just played too many minutes. So I think he had to, but fair play to Arteta. He did try to do it in the FA Cup against, was it not Portsmouth? Who was it? Did we play before Southampton? Anyway, the game before...
He's supposed to start, wasn't he? Calafiori got injured.
So he was going to try it then, it was unfortunate, but I feel like we've been screaming for this for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, the capabilities that he's got, the way that he can carry the ball forward, the way that he can split lines with his passing, he can play left 8, he can play 6, which he did on Saturday, he can play everywhere, basically, in that midfield, and you know, I think he showed the quality. So I don't know if it was an actual trump card, but what he's done now is Miles Lewis-Skelly's definitely thrown the cat amongst the pigeons in terms of performances.
And I also think just having Bukayo Saka back.
Fair.
The guy is world class.
Yeah, fair.
I mean,
when he's on it, he's world class. He just changes the way we play. You mentioned Madueke. Look, I like Madueke, but he doesn't lift the crowd like Bukayo Saka does. He doesn't have the same attacking output. Maybe he can run at a man, maybe he can beat a man, but the output isn't there. He runs it off the pitch, he overhits a cross. Bukayo Saka, 9 times out of 10 when he gets the ball, he does something with it.
It's very true.
Bare minimum, he doesn't lose the ball, right? And people look at Saka's GA maybe when he's played this season and gone, oh, he's not the same player. When you can give him the ball and he goes at the fullback, comes inside, brings other players into play every single time, you're wearing the other team down.
Facts.
His positioning is so smart on the pitch. He's class. He gives the whole team a lift, the whole stadium a lift, the manager, it gives everyone a lift within Arsenal when Bukayo Saka is on the football pitch.
Him and Eze, I think, are built for this back end of the season. I know they haven't stepped up well I know Eze has, but Saka hasn't been there in the crucial moments to get us over the lines, lifting silverware. No player has, if I'm honest, but I feel like this could be the season that he does do that. It's interesting. Obviously 75% of the time he's in the squad. That was going round. We win the game.
Yep.
Do you think there's any more trump cards available that could be used? So he tried Havertz and Gyökeres up top. Is there any other? Do you think?
I think
is there one that we haven't seen?
Well, we've seen it, and I think it's very a good idea maybe to play him. I mean, look, depends. I think Calafiori, the way he unlocks and the way he gets forward, the stuff that he can do
over in Hincapié, yeah. So you think that could be that's the
you
next?
know what I like about him? He's one of our best finishers. No one's gonna. You see the amount of chances that there was a comp going around on X, basically showing basically all the
his
finishes,
missed chances.
Mate, it's unreal.
Serious, I didn't see that.
When he came close, like he hit the post like 5 times, offside goals.
He causes absolute chaos.
Okay, fair.
And in a good way.
Yeah, no, he does.
And I think for me, I just think he's just got such a marauding kind of attacking verve with him, other than with Hincapié. I think he's a lockdown defender. Attacking wise, I don't see it as much as Calafiori. And that doesn't mean he's not a good player. It just means that I just feel like if you're asking for a trump card, I think Calafiori.
I like that. Is there anything else you
well.
missing? As Max Down and the Jesus might come to form? Is there anything? I'm just trying to offer anything that you might
He's the
see.
only Jesus that didn't rise after Easter, mate. He's absolutely shocking.
Or do you think that's a good one? I think that's not Calafiori's.
Yeah, I don't mind who starts at left back. I love Calafiori, I love Hincapié.
Yeah.
I think they're both brilliant players at their best. Just the fitness with Calafiori has been a problem. So, maybe Mosquera at right back for Ben White. Potentially. I don't really mind who starts. Saka has to start. I think Miles in the midfield is the big one. I don't think he'll start. I think 90% of Arsenal fans probably would start him based on what we saw against Fulham, based on how he can play when he's in the midfield, what he brings and Zubimendi doesn't.
Yeah.
But Arteta loves control. He loves to lock down the midfield. And I think Zubimendi will play.
I'm going to read a stat and then I'm just going to close off with score predictions. And just one last question. Stat was Atletico Madrid have lost 3 out of their 6 away games in the competition, but secured obviously a vital victory against Barcelona in the quarterfinals. Here we go. Question is, we win this game, we're in the final.
Oh man.
2006.
First time in 20
was the
years.
last time. Boys, I don't know. It's not really a question. It's just like, how mad? I don't really know how to really phrase it. Like, the opportunity, the feat, like, do you
know what it is, right? And
again, could be a final.
Everyone's going to kill me right now.
Oh,
everyone's going to kill me.
This is supposed to be the outro into the nice, good feeling.
I'm not being negative. I just can't.
What's gonna come?
I just can't get my head around the Premier League right now.
You can't look past the Premier League.
Okay.
That's all.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah,
no one's going to say. I thought you said I don't care.
I do care. 100% I care. But there's just something with me where, with the Premier League.
That's fair. There's a lot of fans like
I genuinely, I just feel like
you want that Premier League.
It's not even like I just want the Premier League. I just feel like I'm just so focused on the Premier
Lee's
League
like that
because
as well.
we've been
Lee
there
judges.
we've been top for so long.
Fair.
And we did it 2 years ago.
I said the same thing on Sky, didn't I?
293 days. Last season we were meant to win it, and then obviously I can't find. We had a lot of injuries. I'm just like, I really want the Premier League now. I want the Champions League.
We're so close though. Like, that's why this question come. Like, I know there's people watching.
I know.
People they want the Premier League.
People are gonna think, oh, like, why is Lee on this show again?
No, they won't. No, there'll be a lot of people that resonate with that. There'll be.
I promise you, I want the Champions League, but my head is just so fixated on the Premier League that I just can't. I almost feel a bit like I can't get excited for the Champions League.
That's what it feels. That's it. That's fair. That's fair.
Bloody hell! Like, why have we left ourselves in a position where we are struggling in the Premier League because the Champions League isn't a given?
Yes.
And I'm trying to get tickets to go out there. So I want to go to the Champions final. I've already.
Do you know what it is? I think the work that you have to put in to win the Premier League.
It's so
38 games against the teams.
And we've been so
you know all their fans. You know United fans and Chelsea fans and Liverpool fans. I don't know any City fans, but all the other clubs, you know their fans are getting the banter and the online and this and that every single week in, week out. Whereas the Champions League, it almost feels like midweek you can breathe a little bit, especially in the group stages. Done our work.
We shouldn't think like that.
We shouldn't. That's just how we feel, man.
The first time we beat Arsenal, we beat Tottenham at the North London Stadium, at their stadium, Tottenham Stadium. I was like, bloody hell, we've finally done it. We're going to finally win the Premier League because we finally beat, because we kept losing against them at their ground. And then the following season, we did it again. I'm like, oh my gosh, we've done it again. 293 days.
It's just build
finally. And we beat Man United away. We drew against Man City. I'm like, bloody hell, we finally. And then, bloody hell, it hasn't happened. So
we just slowly start throwing it away.
That's not even focused on Chelsea. He doesn't care. You do care, but you're just saying you're like Premier League.
Become a Premier League force.
But my head just can't fully focus on the Champions League.
We're actually closer to winning the Champions League.
Exactly.
We win 2 games, we win the Champions League. We can actually win the next 3 games and not win the Premier League.
I know.
That's why.
If City outscore us.
That's why I asked that question after the game was in Uganda to the Ugandan Arsenal fans. But like, that's why I'm asking this question. Like, I hear that energy. But it's the chat.
How fake would it be of me to come on here? I said throw the Sporting game. Remember? I said throw the Sporting game because I said focus on the Premier League. So how fake would it be for me to be on this show right now and saying, oh yeah, let's do the Premier League? It would be so the Champions League.
2 games from potentially. We've never done it. Like, there'll be people. There's fans that want the Champions League more than the Premier League.
I don't want to look like a waffler though. So if I've said throw the Champions League because I wanted to focus on the Premier League, it would be stupid for me to. I've got to stick on one side.
All right. Let's get score predictions. But I enjoyed. There's gonna be people that really resonate with you. There's gonna be people that are saying you're mad because obviously we're so close to the Champions League. But
I do think the majority of the fan base want to win the Premier League more.
No, I agree. I think they're more with him. But I just think that's why. But I want people to actually understand where Arsenal are. Because I think we forget, like, one game. We haven't been in the final in 20 years, people. Like, Anyway, score prediction. Come on in. Christian, you give me a score prediction for this, tomorrow night's game.
2-1 Arsenal.
Lee?
Nah, I'm going to go 2-0.
2-0?
2-0.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal as well. 2-0 Arsenal. That is it. That's the prediction for the Champions League
Please
game.
don't kill me, people.
No, they don't.
They won't. That's fine.
I want to win the Champions League. I do want to win the Champions League, but I did the preview with you and Nori.
I know.
And I said, no, throw it. I said, throw it, because at the time we were just playing so poorly. I said, let's just go for the Premier League. So,
but even if you throw the Champions League, it doesn't guarantee you win the Premier League.
No, it doesn't at all.
That's why, like, so it's
You're talking about momentum. You're talking about building a rhythm.
I know. So maybe I'm just chatting rubbish.
All right, people in the comments, let me know are you more Goonali or are you more just no Champions League? Let's focus on that as it is.
Okay,
here.
correct. Can I just ask?
Yeah, exactly.
If you had to pick. No,
it's Prem.
Christian,
For 95% of the season, it's been Prem. But recently,
We're so close.
I've started dreaming about, Saka lifting that trophy, Declan Rice, Odegaard, Saliba and Gabriel. You know the AI picture of Saliba and Gabriel where they got the trophy in the back of the...
Christian.
I've been dreaming of that. So I don't know now. I'm 50-50.
Give it the top context of being top for the majority of the season. From this position, what are you picking?
I know, but if you still win the Champions League, no one can say anything, really. Well, I would take either. I'll take either. Let us know in the comments, innit?
Don't do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you again soon. Let's hope Arsenal win not just the game, but the Champions League and the Prem. Love you all. Good night.